Charleston, and welcome to this week's edition of Navigate Your Wealth. My name is Samantha Irish. I'm the president of 𝗀𝗵𝐵𝐵 Financial, and of course today we are joined by my mom, Karen 𝙬𝗫𝙬, the CEO of 𝗀𝗵𝐵𝐵 Financial. If you're looking at today's show, it might look a little bit different because we don't have our host with us today. Each week, you have given us the opportunity to come into your living room and be vulnerable and learn how to empower your finances. And today we want to be a little vulnerable with you as well and share a little bit about who 𝗀𝗵𝐵 Financial is and how we came to be. Mom, welcome to the show.
Great job. It's good to be here.
You know, when I look back at choosing to become a financial advisor, I had an incredible role model in who you were and what you were doing for your clients. And so when it came time for me to pick a career, I think I was a little preemptive about when I was going to get started.
Well, let's back up and talk about how I originally got into this business. I left New Hampshire with $150 to my name and loaded it in my 1974 Mustang in 1980. If it didn't fit in or on, it didn't go with me. I was actually on my way to Colorado as my life ambition was to be a professional ski bum, but I found a detour and went to Florida instead, where I met my husband, your father. I started with Raymond James back in 1980, just decided that I was going to try something different, and so I went into Raymond James, got a job as a back office person, and fell in love with the industry. I got my license, and 4 years later said, we got to get out of Florida. So your dad and I moved to California, as you know, and I started working with Dean Witter, and had you, and then had your brother, and then went to work for American Savings Bank. They had financial advisors sitting in the bank helping clients understand how to make smart choices with their money other than CDs. And then in 1995, I joined New York Life. And it was at that time, I think, that you got the bug. Now, you got the bug partially because you went on all of these nice trips with me.
Yeah.
But I remember at 11 years old, you walked into the kitchen and said, I'm going to be your business partner someday, Mom.
I apologize that it took me a little longer than we had planned, but I think that it was really important for me to also take a little bit of my own detour. You know, when I was getting ready to go to college, I asked you, what should I go study? Should I go be a finance major? And you said, Sam, I can teach you the finance. Go learn something that can really benefit our clients. And so when I went to university, I went to the University of California, Davis. My focus was on communications and sociology. It was so important for us in our business, but for me and how I was going to be able to impact our clients' lives, to understand what are they saying and what's motivating them for their retirement. And that's really how we decided that we were going to build this partnership and what we were going to be able to do for our clients. So I want to fast forward just a little bit.
Okay.
Let's jump to when we started working together.
Okay, well, you went after college to the University of Alabama, fell in love with the South, and announced that you were not coming back to Sacramento.
Yeah.
So your dad and I had to figure out a way that we were going to get back over onto the East Coast, which we refer to as the right coast. And it was in 2013 that we came here, and you and I finally had the chance to work together. Fortunately, there was an advisor in the office I was with that said, let me get her licensed, let me get her trained, and then you can have her. I thought that sounded like a good deal, so that's what we did. But explain what happened in that year.
You know, I think sometimes the best thing to learn what you want is to learn what you don't want. And so in that experience that I previously had, when I joined my mom, all of a sudden, a whole new world of opportunity was presented. You know, when we first started working together, we gave each other the 90-day get-out-of-jail-free card,
That's right?
When I first told people that I was going to be working with my mom, they said, I don't think I could work with my parents. Are you sure you want to work with your mom? And I said, we've always had such a unique relationship. We finish each other's sentences. We really understand what the other person is thinking. And so I think it's going to work. But in all cases, you need that permission to say...
Well, I wanted to give you the opportunity that if you hated working with me or it just wasn't a good fit for you working with me, that we could just say no harm, no foul.
Right.
And so I said at the end of 90 days, we'll get together and we'll decide what we want to do. And at the end of 90 days, we were so busy and we were having so much fun that we didn't have the opportunity to sit down for the meeting until I think it was another 30 or 40 days later.
I think so too. And one of the things that happened in that meeting, and I will be totally honest with you, I knew that I would like working with you. I didn't know that I would love working with you. And I think that that relationship really shows with our clients.
Well, I know you remember this because I cried in that meeting. Because I said, I have been looking for you my entire life. And by you, I meant my business partner, somebody who gets me, somebody who understands. You know, when you ask somebody to join your business, they have the stamp of you on their forehead. And so everything that they do represents you. And you could not have represented me any better. It was a dream absolutely come true.
You know, today we've been talking about who 𝗀𝗵𝐵𝐵 Financial is and how we came to be. And this morning we've been really talking about us, but I want to turn it around and I want to make it about you. Because we need to be vulnerable so that you understand why we're going to take such good care of you. But when we come back from the break, we're actually going to sit down and say, what does it mean to be a client of 𝗀𝗵𝐵𝐵 Financial? When you pick up the phone and call us today, you are going to get a retirement roadmap. That retirement roadmap is going to give you the confidence to know that your retirement is going to work in all circumstances, not just the ones that you planned for. So don't hesitate. Pick up the phone and call the number that's on your screen, 855-348-3073. If you don't want to talk to somebody right now, you can take out your cell phone and scan the QR code that you see right here on the right-hand side of your screen. That will take you to a quick questionnaire. It'll ask you a few personal things so that you can get contacted by a member of our team at a later date. We just want to make this accessible to you. Okay, make sure you come back because now we're going to figure out how working with 𝗀𝗵𝐵𝐵 Financial can benefit your retirement.